Here for a little bit is a man, our favorite. How did you describe him on the Facebook page?
Our favorite muckraker, John Settle.
Political muckraker. Yeah. John Settle is joining us for a little bit. You brought in, as you normally do, I said, once a lawyer, always a lawyer. Good Lord, man. You bring in, exactly, about like nine manila folders full of stuff. Let's talk a little money first. There are the latest financial reports. Are they out yet, or did they come out later? And what are you hearing? I know I got the text from you or the email about Adrian and $100,000 in 3 days. Is that legit? What do you know about that?
Well, Adrian's latest financial report is still being scanned. My information source was within his campaign. Mm-hmm. But I do have the funds that both candidates have raised through 21 November, at least what they have reported to the Secretary of State.
And those amounts would be?
Well, let's go this way. You want to go funds on hand or amounts raised?
You do whatever you want.
I think the key is this.
It's your muck, John.
It's my muck.
You rake it as you see fit.
All right. As of 21 November and reported to Secretary of State, Perkins has $163,700 on hand.
Yes.
And the mayor has $58,700 on hand.
What does that tell you? What does that say to you? Is in this race, or traditionally in Shreveport politics, if you want to make the connection, is money related to momentum?
Money is definitely related to momentum, and money is related to votes. Money does not vote, but it certainly helps get the vote out, get the message out, and it shows support throughout the community.
Speaking of votes, speaking of momentum, tonight on channel, I think it's channel 6, KTAL, not a debate, not a forum, it's a mayoral
it's been tagged as a conversation with limited responses, I think 1 minute per candidate.
Is this going to be an in studio? Is it going to be an audience? How exactly is this going to be set up?
I think it's in studio. I honestly don't have a lot of information because there hasn't been much put out.
Right. So tell me just the basic format.
I think each candidate gets the same question. They alternate. Candidate gets a minute to answer. If the candidate calls out the other one, if Perkins mentions Tyler by name or Tyler mentions Perkins by name, that person gets a rebuttal of 45 seconds. No opening and a 2-minute closing.
We had Scott Hughes in yesterday and a couple of other times, and his opinion was that it's just not in Miss Ollie's personal makeup, or political makeup for that matter, to do a lot of targeting, to come really hard and, bluntly speaking, really ugly at Adrian as may be necessary. A, do you agree or disagree? And B, do you think she might?
I totally agree. It's not her persona. In fact, it hadn't been Adrian's persona, if you follow the race. Secondly, I doubt that she will because I think it could backfire on her. It's just not her personality to do so. Who knows? We'll see.
Later today, and you had written about this, substitute Chief Ben Raymond, a press conference, a news conference. Why is this important? Why do you think, am I jumping the gun to say John Settle thinks he's making a mistake?
I think he is, and I'm disappointed in Ben Raymond. I've heard very good things from him across the board. He spoke at Southern Hills Tuesday, was very impressive. He's been impressive before the council.
Do you think that this, because I want you to get into detail, what do you know about his conference today, what he's going to talk about, what he's going to say, what plans he might lay out? But also, do you think that the timing of this may be at the behest of, finger quotes, others?
I clearly think it's totally political to have this press conference today,
as opposed to
yesterday or tomorrow.
Okay, what's he going to cover? Tell me why.
All I know is he's going to talk about some new initiatives on staffing. The information I have is very limited. I question whether or not why he chose to have it some 7 hours before the conversation tonight. Why not yesterday? Why not Friday? I think it stinks. I think it sounds.
Stinks is a strong word.
It is a strong word, but this is.
I mean, look, honestly, seriously, now, if you were in the same position, if you were the mayor of Shreveport, the incumbent mayor, and you were trailing, might you? Let's just call it strategery. Why is this such a what makes it stinky, John?
It makes it stinky because I think that Raymond is hurting his reputation. And if Raymond wants to be the full-time, regular, not substitute police chief, then if Perkins is successful on 10 December, then I think Raymond has shot himself in the foot. But then he may be leaned on by the mayor to have it today, to talk about new initiatives, etc.
When I ask you this, and you can say, I'll answer now, or you can jump right into your response, or you can say, good Lord, man, look at the time. We need to go to break, and you can answer when we get back. And I brought this up with some friends last night, and they both kind of looked at me and went, damn, that's pretty good. Let me ask you this, and I asked Matt earlier today, and Matt said, that's pretty good. If the situation were reversed, i.e., if the general election had gone the other way, if Ollie had 30% and Adrian had 25 instead of 30 and 25 juxtaposed, if Ollie in the general election,
The primary.
well, the runoff is coming up, the general election. So if Ollie had 30% and Adrian had 25, or if Ollie had 30% and Jim Talaferro had 20, whatever it happened to be, if Ollie had been the clear winner in the general election, would Alan Crump be police chief today? You want to answer? You want to think and come back?
I think he probably would, because
and is that an important question to ask? Because I think it kind of is.
I think it is. I think that that Ollie sent a signal that she was dissatisfied with him, and that it had hurt her chances, or maybe it had been part of the fact that she finished second in the primary. So if she had finished on top, I believe Crump would still be police chief. She'll still be standing behind him, saying he's the greatest guy in the world, and crime is down.